comfortable.
There you go. Good morning, everybody. Very happy to see all of you here. Thank you very much. Some of you are here out of guilt. Because I said, you know, for my birthday, I'd really love it if you came to services. Thank you very much, James. I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Very much appreciate it. So today I thought, especially since, you know, I'm kind of grappling with the sense of self, you know, what it is that defines me and such, that today's lesson will be about dependent origination, which is a really seminal concept in Buddhism in general. And we'll start with a brief excerpt from the Lotus Sutra, page 140. Then he expounded the teaching of the 12 causes, saying, ignorance causes predisposition, predisposition causes consciousness, consciousness causes name and form causes the six sense organs. The six sense organs cause impression, impression causes feeling, feeling causes craving, craving causes grasping, grasping causes existence, existence causes birth, birth causes aging, death, grief, sorrow, suffering, and lamentation. When ignorance is eliminated, predisposition is eliminated. When predisposition is eliminated, consciousness is eliminated. When consciousness is eliminated, name and form is eliminated. When name and form are eliminated, all six sense organs are eliminated. When the six sense organs are eliminated, impression is eliminated. When impression is eliminated, feeling is eliminated. When feeling is eliminated, craving is eliminated. When craving is eliminated, grasping is eliminated. When grasping is eliminated, existence is eliminated. When existence is eliminated, birth is eliminated. When birth is eliminated, aging and death, grief, sorrow, suffering, lamentation are eliminated. The doctrine of dependent origination is the key insight upon which the entire teaching of the Buddha rests. In fact, dependent origination is the content of Siddhartha's awakening beneath the Bodhi tree. The night the Buddha attained awakening, he reflected upon his own life and past lives, the lives, past lives, and future destinies of other beings, and then causality itself. He observed, beginning with himself, how all things forge their own destiny through their own actions. He also saw how all phenomena arise and cease, part of a network of mutually supportive causes and conditions. The Buddha then resolved to share his insight with others in the form of the 12-fold chain of dependent origination. Put simply, dependent origination means that everything is dependent on things or causes for its origin. That is, all phenomena arise as a result of causes and conditions. Therefore, no phenomena have any existence intrinsic to themselves. They depend on other phenomena, on other things. In order to have one thing, you need to have other things working together to bring about and to support its existence. Everything depends upon everything else in this way. This should sound familiar because dependent origination, also called the laws of effect, has been discussed plenty of times in this temple. All the teachings of the Buddha have dependent origination as their basis. For instance, the Four Noble Truths are composed of two pairs of cause and effect. The noble truth that life's suffering and the noble truth of craving, as the origin of suffering, is one example of a negative effect and its cause. The noble truth of the cessation of suffering and the noble truth of the eightfold path to end suffering is an example of the positive effect and its cause. Dependent origination is also the deeper meaning of the middle way, taught by the Buddha as the path to nirvana. It is the middle way between the extreme views of existence and non-existence, which do not recognize life as a dynamic and interdependent process. The extreme view of existence is an attempt to characterize a dynamic process of causes and conditions as instead being something as a static entity. For instance, a person with such an extreme view might look at a tree as a static moment in time and characterize it as only being a tree of such a height, such an age, and such a girth. The reality expressed by the middle way is that the tree is actually a dynamic process spanning many years, caused by a seed, conditioned by the soil, rain, sunlight, and an infinity of other factors. The extreme view of existence does not recognize such interdependence, flux, and relativity. In the end, it results in an absolutism that fixes things in rigid categories. From this rigidity springs all kinds of evils, such as classism, racism, nationalism, religious fundamentalism. Compassion is effectively banished through the projection of fixed boundaries of self and other upon the dynamic flow and interdependence of the life process. The extreme view of non-existence is a refusal to accept any kind of meaning or value, since there are no entities for which to have any regard for. Life is reduced to chaos, absurdity, or illusion to those who cannot accept the life process on its own terms. Ultimately, it is the negation of life, which is very different from what the Buddha's liberation from the illusion of self is. In Buddhism, selfish craving is the cause of suffering, not life's absurdity. The goal is to become liberated from the delusion of self through the cultivation of the Eightfold Path. Nihilism only leads to irresponsible despair and the denial of the truth and meaning of causality. Dependent origination, then, is the teaching that things do have a provisional, though non-intrinsic, existence based on causes and conditions. Therefore, one who is following the middle way will think in terms of causes and conditions instead of existence or non-existence. For the follower of the way, there are no longer any immutable categories or boundaries, nor is there any question of the identity of or difference between entities. Causality has its own logic and morality, which does not depend on a rigid adherence to abstract concepts. Dependent origination, then, is the awareness of cause and effect and the interdependence of all things. This awareness gives rise to an authentic sense of responsibility, genuine love, and compassion. So there's a lot of big words there, right? You know, what does that mean? In the end, in the simplest way, is the analogy of the tree is the best analogy that I can think of, in that we have a tendency to look at the world as being very black and white. And because we're in a very static place, our own point of view, based on whatever causes and conditions that we came, our own experiences, how old we are, what we know about life, what we don't know about life, we could come to a situation and say, oh, this situation will always be like this. All situations of this nature are always like this. i.e., this tree is always this height, this age, and this big around, right? Because we're not realizing, oh, this is not just a tree of this height, of this age, of this big around. This is a dynamic process that started as a little seed and grew up over lots of years and became the tree that I'm seeing now and will continue on in its life cycle beyond that, producing more trees in and of itself. And the tree that became did not just become magically, it was nurtured by the causes and conditions around it, the soil, the sun, the water. You know, maybe it started out as a weed and somebody didn't mow over it, right, in the corner of the yard, till it got big enough that you couldn't mow over it. And then it's like, I'll get around to it. And the next thing you know, that tree is now so big that it's pushed the fence away. You know, so we don't know how things begin. So it's this idea that we think, oh, I am this way. But the truth is you are currently that way because of a whole lot of causes and conditions. So for example, today is my birthday. I'm 42 years old. I've had 42 years worth of causes and conditions and however many innumerable lifetimes worth of causes and conditions before that. But this being that's sitting here now couldn't be here now if it wasn't for each of you. You're the reason I'm here. If it wasn't for your causes and conditions adding to this, to my causes and conditions, I wouldn't be here now. If it wasn't for my parents' causes and conditions adding together and wherever they were at the time, I wouldn't be here now. So I owe everything I am to all of these other causes and conditions that I don't really have any control over. I am also the result of lots of things I didn't have control over. You know, I didn't have control over my second grade school teacher. I just was kind of assigned a second grade school teacher, but my second grade school teacher really did influence me in a positive direction where I ended up going. So there's no point in attaching to any situation because it's always in flux and it's always changing. And we can, in our limited nature, start categorizing things as good and bad. But the truth is that this complex being that we are is also the culmination of all of those difficult times too. Those are our causes and conditions as well. And they're not to be pushed away. Is to realize that this is part of it. These are the things that help shape me. And not pushing them away, not pushing the negative experiences away, not clinging to the positive experiences. Just realizing that they are all beautiful experiences, part of the journey in and of itself. Kyle and I had a wonderful discussion yesterday about the meaning of the word dharma and how nuanced it is. But then in the end, for me, I like method because then it's about action. And action is a dynamic process, and that's what life is. Life is a dynamic process. If the Buddha had sat under the Bodhi tree and kept all of that knowledge of this, dependent origination to himself, then the Dharma wouldn't exist. It was only when he got up and acted on this, acted on his compassion, that he became the Buddha. Otherwise, he was just another private Buddha. So I'm really thinking about that today. How much this entity that today everyone will praise and wish good luck on the day that I was born, so to speak. I am actually realizing that now this is the day that I need to venerate all of you and my parents. And that is the day for me to really recognize everybody else but me. Because I am the result of all of you. And I'm the result of the sunshine that's outside and the earth and the universe and all of these causes and conditions that all culminated in a very wonderful and unique way to create me 42 years ago. But the me that is me is only the result of all of you. Yeah. And especially since we've had 2 births recently, it definitely makes you look at that. And now that we're getting older, it makes us realize that we're becoming less and less concerned with our tree and more concerned with being part of the positive causes and conditions for other trees, like Jack. Being that positive soil, being that positive water, being that positive sunlight that helps other trees grow and reach their highest potential. And that's what our job is as Bodhisattva. To be out there giving good positive causes and conditions to other beings to reach their highest potential. Because as Bodhisattvas, we know we can be like a bonsai tree. We can survive on a craggy rock, with almost no soil, and still see the beauty of life. But there are a lot of other people who need a lot more nurturing than that. They don't have the Dharma to directly draw from to feed their soul, so to speak. So, in that case, a smile, a pat on the back, a positive action, that's all it takes to help nurture their causes and conditions, because in the end, all we're really trying to do is inspire people's bodhicitta, their aspiration towards life, the want to get better, really. Because in the end, this job of being a leader in Buddhism is the relentless pursuit of self-betterment for the benefit of others. Let's begin with some silent meditation. Please place your hands in Okai Join. Shingyo, meditation to purify the mind, heart, and body. turn to page 5. Invocation. Please follow along. Honor be to the great mandala, the perfect circle of all honorable ones revealed by our founder Nichiren Shonin. Honor be to the eternal Buddha Shakyamuni, our original teacher, the Lord of the Dharma, our great benefactor who attained enlightenment in the remotest past. Honor be to the Sutra of the Lotus Flower of the wonderful Dharma, the teaching of equality, the great wisdom, the one vehicle. Honor be to our founder, the great Bodhisattva Nichiren Shonin, dispatched by our original Buddha. Honor be to Reinke Ajari Nichiji Shonin, the first overseas missionary. Honor be to the protected deities of the Dharma. We honor all of you. May you come to this consecrated place out of your compassion towards us. See us with the light of your wisdom and accept our offering of chanting the sutra and Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Please turn to page 9, verses for opening the sutra. The most profound and wonderful teaching is presented in this sutra. This sutra is difficult to meet even once in thousands and millions of aeons. Now we have been able to see, hear, receive, and keep this sutra. May we understand the most excellent teaching of the Tathagata. The most excellent teaching of the great vehicle is very difficult for us to understand. We shall be able to approach enlightenment when we see, hear, or touch this sutra. Expounding is the Buddha's wisdom. Expounded is the Buddha's truth. The letters composing this sutra are the Buddha's manifestation. Just as perfume is caught by something put nearby, so shall we be richly benefited by this sutra, even when we are not aware of being so benefited, because infinite merits are accumulated in this sutra. We can expiate our past transgressions, do good deeds, and attain Buddhahood by the merits of this sutra. It does not matter whether we are wise or not, or whether we believe the sutra or slander it. This sutra is the most wonderful and most excellent taught by the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. May we meet and receive it, birth after birth, world after world. Page 11, please. Orenge kyo, oben bondai ni, niji se san ju san mayan jo ni kiro shari yozu jo bu ki e kin ju jo ko ji e ange nan ju sai jo nan jaku shi buzu jo bu no ji jo ni sa ga buzu jo shin yong yaku sen man no bu shu jo buzu shin yo jo buzu bu jo do ho yu jo jo shin jo jo bu man jo ju shin shin ji zo bu o ji zo setsu li shu nan ge tai ho zu go ju jo bu ki ai shu ju in en shu ju li shu ho en mon jo bu shu ho en in do shu jo jo li jo jaku jo li sha ga jo rai ho ben ki ken hara mitsu kai bu sobu kai ho ju no rai ki ken ko rai jin bu yo bu ge biki bu shou mi ten jo ke taku san mai jin yu nu sai jo ju li sai ni zo mu ho shari ho ju no rai no ju ju kun tetsu jo se jo ho on ji ju nan ek na shu shin shari ho ju ju yo kon ji nu yo mu hen ni zo ho bu shi ju jo ju shi shari ho ju ju shu bu tetsu jo li sha ga bu shou jo ju tai ichi ge ju an ge ji ho ju li bu ju jo bu ju nai no ju jin jo ho ji so jo li so ho yo ze so yo ze jo yo ze tai yo ze li yo ze sa yo ze in yo ze en yo ze ka yo ze om yo ze om page 35. Oho Renge Kyo, Modae Judo, Ondae Judoku, Jiga Toku Bujurai, Shokyo Shoko Shutsuryo, Yaku Senman, Toku Saya Soki, Yosen Kokyo Kenju Shuroku Shujo, Ryoyu Sutra of the Lotus Flower of the Wonderful Dharma, Chapter 21, the Supernatural Powers of the Tathagata. The Buddhas, the world saviors, have great supernatural powers. They display their immeasurable supernatural powers in order to cause all living beings to rejoice. Of their countries and their prominent innumerable ways of life illuminated from their bodies. To these things rarely to these things the sound of their fingers and reverberate over the world of the 10 quarters and the count of those worlds in the 6 ways of Buddha joyfully display their immeasurable supernatural powers because the Bodhisattvas come underground. How to keep this sutra after my extinction, even if I raise or innumerable alphas, the keeper of this sutra, to whom it is to be transmitted. I cannot praise him highly without his merits are as limitless as infinite and boundless as the skies of the world of heaven borders. Anyone who keeps this sutra will be able to see me. He also will be able to see many treasures through the Buddhas of my replicas and the Bodhisattvas whom I have taught today. Anyone who keeps this sutra will be able to cause me to rejoice. He also will be able to bring joy to the Buddhas of my replicas and also to many treasures to the who once passed away. He also will be able to see the present, past, and future Buddhas of the world of the 10 quarters in accordance to them and cause them to rejoice. The Buddhas sat at the place of enlightenment and obtained the hidden for anyone who keeps the sutra will be able to obtain the same before long. Anyone who keeps the sutra will be able to expound the meanings of the teaching and the names and words of the sutra. Their eloquence will be as boundless and as unhindered as the wind in the sky. Anyone who understands why the Buddhas expound many sutras, who knows the position of the sutra in the series of sutras, and who expounds it after my extinction according to its true meaning, will be able to eliminate the darkness of the living beings of the world where he walks about just as the light of the sun and the moon in the angels darkness. He will be able to cause innumerable Bodhisattvas to dwell finally in the one vehicle. Therefore, the man of wisdom who hears the benefits of these merits keeps this sutra after my extinction will be able to attain the enlightenment of the Buddha infinitely and boundlessly. Devotion, Muso, page 62. The wonderful truth expounded in the Lotus Sutra, whose Odai Mokuina chant is what the past Buddhas taught, the present Buddhas are teaching, and the future Buddhas shall teach. It is the great Dharma, true and pure, the propagation of which was transmitted primarily to Bodhisattva Jogyo by the Buddha on Mount Sacred Eagle. Once we chant, Amu Renge Kyo, we shall attain the right view that the 3,000 worlds exist in our minds just as they are. The pure land of the tranquil light shall be made manifest in our sight, and together with all beings we shall enjoy living in the land of truth. May the sound of our chanting, the Odai Moku, permeate the whole world, be offered to the three treasures, and be bestowed on all beings. May all beings enter the world of the one reality, the great vehicle. May the Buddha land be adorned, and all beings favored with the merits of our chanting. page 66. Difficulty of retaining the sutra. From chapter 11, Beholding the Sutra of Treasures. It is difficult to keep the sutra. I shall be glad to see anyone keeping it even for a moment. So will all the other Buddhas. He will be praised by all the Buddhas. He will be a man of valor, a man of endeavor. He should be considered to have already observed the precepts and practiced the Buddha. He will quickly attain the unsurpassed enlightenment of the Buddha. Anyone who reads and recites this the future is a true son of mine. He shall be considered to live on the stage of purity and good. Anyone after my extinction who understands the meaning of this sutra will be the guide of the world of gods and anyone who expounds this sutra even for a moment in his dreadful world should be honored with offerings by all gods and men. Page 68. I am the Lord Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends my happiness and misery. May every link in Lord Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. We respectfully dedicate all our merits now gathered to the great benevolent teacher Shakyamuni, the eternal Buddha, to the supreme teaching of the Lotus Sutra, to the leader of the declining latter age of the Dharma, our founder, the great Bodhisattva, Nichiren Shonin, and to the protective deities of the Dharma. May all beings under the heavens and within the four seas live in accordance with the wonderful Dharma. May the wonderful Dharma spread throughout the 10,000 years of the declining latter age of the Dharma. May we realize this world is the eternal Buddha's Pure Land. May peace permeate all the world, and all beings enjoy peace and happiness. May all beings live in safety and live long without misfortune. May the peace and happiness last forever, and all beings be prosperous. We pray that all beings awaken to the true nature of reality, which is the Buddha Dharma. May all beings of all realms be helped equally, overcome suffering, and gain the happiness of blissful liberation through the merits of following the teaching of the Lotus Sutra. We pray for the spirits of our ancestors and for all the spirits of the universe. Today, we especially pray for those in sickness or distress. We pray for Scoop, Phil Rogalski, and the Rogalski family, Ted Day, Rune Thorgeson, Helen Lawson, Darren Floyd, Sean Tompkins, Sarah Morell, Hugh Smith, Damian Reddick, Wendy Prevost, Jason Wellman, Jesse Schaefer, Kabaya Lovejoy, Tadia Gillum, Bob Magoon, Grandma Lucy, Carmen Laverne, Issa Simmons, Glenda Grosso, Glenda Williams, Douglas Conrad, Antoinette Moon, Mrs. Case, Manny Figueroa, Luther Smart, Jerome Cushion, Martin Hardaway, and Sissy. We also remember those in memoriam who have passed. We remember William Smith, Maria Valentin, Deidre Hossick, William Thomas, Aunt Barbara, Joseph and Elaine Winter, Gary Caitlin, Bill Mears, Kazuko Jordan, Shay Kroll, Clarence Kroll, Albert Rebus, Carol Morn, Jack Parker, Dan Sankala, Edward Williams, Betty Nixon, Cheryl Cushman, Jean Knopf, Lucy Mosier, James Mosier, Katrina Petrowski, Pat LaMonica, Roberto Maria, Nancy Lau, Tilly, and John Arthur Morrissey. May we purify our minds, limit our desires, and learn to be content. Feel free to experience the quiet, unassuming joys of life, and learn to abandon all attachments formed in the mind. It is my personal wish today to dedicate any and all merit that I may gain from my practice to my Sangha, to my friends, and my family. With this prayer, we endeavor to increase our understanding and appreciation of what others have given and contributed to us, and to develop constant, mindful consideration of how our thoughts and actions will beneficially contribute to others. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Please turn to page 77 and 78. Shiyu Seigan, the four great vows. Shujo Muhin Seigando.
Sentient beings are innumerable. I vow to save them all.
Onno Mushu Seigandan.
Our defilements are inexhaustible. I vow to quench them all.
Homon Mujin Seiganchi.
The Buddha's teachings are immeasurable. I vow to know them all.
Utsuro Mujo Seiganjo.
The way of the Buddha is unexcelled. I vow to attain the path sublime.
With this body, until I attain Buddhahood, I shall uphold my faith in the Lotus Sutra.
Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo.
Yuigan Sho. Shou Shu. Venerable ones, remember us. Be where your light can come again and through compassion towards us. Please place your hand in all pride and only, rising from Buddha. Begin as we began with silent meditation. Jin Shingyo, meditation on the merits of meal. Thank you all very much for coming to service today. I was very appreciative of every single one of you today, and I can hear all your voices. Thank you very much. We'll take our picture, and then everyone is welcome to go their separate ways as they see fit. Have enjoyable 4th of July. To those who tuned in from home, gosh, oh, good to see you today, or never see us, I guess. Yeah, but the
Wait, 1 second. Can you put your book out real quick, Cal? Can you put your book back out real quick? No. Now, for Nathan and James, what do you notice different about 2 sides?
Now has a cloth under the book.
Yep. So as sutra, we don't set it on the ground, right? We don't set it on the edge of the table, right? Because symbolically, that means that the angels come down and hold up the edge of the book because it's so sacred, and so we have compassion for the angels, so they don't get tight. That's the way I look. So we don't set it on the floor. Yeah, I know you have to sleep, but technically, we should put it on the. So we have those at the back for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Where they were. I know. Yeah, I know Chuck had them, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
sure.
So these are for us.
Okay, that is good.
So whenever you need one, when you're sitting down, we have these here.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. And then are they just back on the?
Yeah, they're just on the bookshelf.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been gone for a little while. We didn't
We-
tell you. This is your first or second Sunday? Second Sunday. So Nick should know either. Thank you, gentlemen. Did it do well for you? You should be.
Every time I kneel on these mats, it reminds me I either have to donate to the temple or make some zombie time.
Jack, grab the
Well, give it time, yeah, give it time, and honestly, is it, just they fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know what, just, honestly, just kind of like massaging your leg down, just kind of moving the blood, you kind of just let move down, so.
Wait till you get to be my age, it's even worse. I almost didn't get up to give incense today.
It's okay, it's okay.
Uh-oh, what's asleep? I could picture myself falling into it.
Oh,
Oh, that would be good.
Feel free to ask.
There we go.